Hi, my name is Kennedy Kao, and this is my visual essay for the Canadian World Politics course. My question is, has the International Criminal Court been a success or a failure? Some background information on the International Criminal Court. On July 17, 1998, 120 states adopted the Rome Statute, the official treaty for establishing the permanent International Criminal Court. The Rome Statute entered into force on July 1, 2002, after ratification by 60 countries. The ICC was created to prevent crimes against humanity, genocide, war crimes that were a constant in previous years. Some facts about the ICC. It is the first permanent international criminal court system. It is treaty-based. It is also not a part of the UN, and it is based in The Hague of the Netherlands. It has been 14 years since the ICC was conceived. Throughout its history, there has been controversy regarding the International Criminal Court, as some view its presence as an accomplishment, while some view it as a failure. This leads to the question of, has the International Criminal Court been a success? My answer to that question is no. The ICC has failed to live up to expectations as a law-enforcing, peacekeeping institution, and here are my reasons that prove my argument. Number 1. Failure to open the court. The International Criminal Court has been unable to make any significant changes towards impunity and has been stagnant at being a force in international criminal law. For the first 9 years of its existence, the ICC didn't open the court for any case until the prosecution of Congolese warlord Thomas Lombaya Diallo in 2009. The now former chief prosecutor, Luis Moreno Ocampano, has been blamed for the failure to make any impact for 9 years, citing that his attitude and management style were not fit to run the court properly. Considering that over 200 people are employed by the ICC and its budget is $153 million, the ICC's failure to open the court more than once has wasted time and a good amount of funds. This can be considered a major failure on the part of the ICC. Number 2. Lack of cooperation/participation. A major flaw of the ICC stems from the lack of participation by the 3 permanent members of the UN Security Council, China, the US, and Russia. China has not signed the Rome Statute, while the US and Russia refuses to ratify it. This lack of participation from these countries hinders the ability to enforce the laws that are instituted by the court. This is due to the granted veto power that is given to these permanent members of the UN, meaning that if any of these 3 powers considers an accusation opposing the well-being of their nation, they can veto the accusation and allow the crimes and the perpetrator to go on unpunished. Also, if these 3 big countries refuse to work with the International Criminal Court, it can have a domino effect on the other countries and impact their decision on whether or not to support the ICC. In the end, because of their lack of cooperation, the ICC has been unable to progress as a superpower in the international criminal system and can be deemed a failure in that regard. Number 3. African bias. Throughout its history, the ICC has shown itself to be flawed, incompetent, and biased, specifically towards African people and African countries. There is a history of the ICC choosing to focus on African countries when there are other issues going on in the world. While supporters of the ICC argue that crimes against humanity most occur in Africa and it is not the ICC's intention to focus on Africa, this claim can be easily disputed by the many other countries where atrocities have been committed. Countries such as Burma, Venezuela, Colombia, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria are examples where crime against humanity have not been a focus of the ICC, where instead the focus is on Africa. And facts support that the ICC has a bias towards Africa. Over 9,000 complaints about alleged crimes have been sent out, spanning over 139 countries. Of those complaints, the ICC decided to hear 22 cases and indict 36 individuals, all of them from Africa. The ICC's sole view on Africa and their unwillingness to tackle other significant problems in the world prove that the ICC has been a failure. Up to this point in time, the International Criminal Court can be deemed a failure due to its failure to open the court, lack of cooperation, and its biased views towards Africa. These flaws and failures must be addressed in order for the ICC to recognize an efficient and sustainable plan for success. I hope you enjoyed my photo essay on the International Criminal Court and how it has been a failure more than it has been a success.